let's continue with asynchronous programming. Our next topic is the async function. It's used with the await marker. So you use the keyword async in front of a function, marking it as an asynchronous function. That means you are going to get some data from somewhere in this function, and you probably need to wait a bit for the data to arrive. And for the actual function that we are going to wait for, we use await to mark it. In this example, we mark the function file in storage as an asynchronous function, and inside of it we have a storage function which is going to get the data, and we mark it with await keyword. And the returned value of an async function is a promise, so we can use then to deal with it. That's it. Using async and await to create an asynchronous function is so easy, and it's also much more readable. That's why it's the new standard nowadays. In JavaScript, we have another way to create an asynchronous function, which is to use a generator function. We define a generator function by putting an asterisk after the function keyword. Inside a generator function, we use the keyword yield to generate the results to be returned. Every time the generator function is called, the next result will be generated and then returned. So it's basically an iterator. In this example, we use a for loop to create endless results to be yielded. As you can see, the second argument, which is the condition, is not provided. It won't stop yielding, but the next value won't be generated until it's needed. When powers is called, the yielded value will be put into power, the variable power here. And when the value in power is larger than 50, the loop is broken. And next, we need to understand what the event loop is. First, let's take a look at this example from the book. If I call setTimeout from within a function, that function will have returned by the time the callback function is called. And when the callback returns, control does not go back to the function that scheduled it. So we have a function A here and a callback in the setTimeout function. While we are waiting for setTimeout to finish its counting, function A could have finished its jobs and be destroyed. And when the callback is executed, it doesn't belong to function A, since function A doesn't exist anymore. This is why we have stack and event loop. This is another quote from the book. Asynchronous behavior happens on its own empty function called stack. That means every asynchronous function creates its own separated stack. These stacks alongside with other tasks are queued in an event loop and will be executed one after another. Here is another quote. This is one of the reasons that without promises, managing exceptions across asynchronous code is hard, since each callback starts with mostly empty stack. Your catch handlers won't be on the stack when they throw an exception. Here is an example. We have two stacks here. One contains the try catch statement. The other is created by the callback function in the set timeout. Since they are in different stacks, the error thrown by the callback won't be caught by the try catch statement. Let's take a look at one more example. We have a callback in a set timeout, and it's supposed to be run after 20 milliseconds. But since it's in the second stack, it won't be executed until the first stack is done, and the first stack is delayed by the while function. By the while statement. So the callback will be delayed as well. Even if the asynchronous function doesn't take any time to run, it still has to wait until its stack is executed. Like here, the promise creates a new stack, so it won't be executed until the stack, these two lines are run. So it won't be executed until the stack these two lines are run. And finally, the author reminds us to be aware of something called asynchronous get. It means you need to be aware which stack you are in and don't try to get data from other stack, etc. Well, that's all for asynchronous programming from this book. But to be honest, this is a big topic. I don't think this chapter is enough for you to get a hang of it. I found this video from FreeCodeCamp that is a great introduction to asynchronous and a great complement for this chapter. So if you are interested, you can search it on YouTube. And alright, that's all for today. Hope you've learned something. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.